In the heart of Thra was a vast, untamed land known as the Endless Forest, or the Dark Wood. Crawling with life forms of all kinds, shapes, and sizes, it was a living representation of Thra, blooming with new flowers and hiding living rocks and moving trees, blackened by the thick canopy. And if you should ever see a quick shadow striding ferociously through the mass of brush, know that your time has run out, for you have entered the hunting grounds of skekMal. As his name implies, skekMal was the hunter and warrior of the Lords of the Crystal. Though in their early days all of the Skeksis wielded weapons and fought in battles, skekMal was the only one who actually maintained his athletic composure and was able to easily leap and bound through the trees. Because of this, he was the most feared, vicious, and bloodthirsty of all of his comrades, answering only to Skekso, and priding himself on his skills as an animalistic woodsman. In his younger days, skekMal was known to be the most handsome of all the Skeksis, and spent most of his time circling the vast terrain of the Dark Wood, hunting various beasts, animals, and even other warriors he deemed to be worthy of his attention, even venturing as far as the Crystal Desert to find victims. However, by the late age of division, he had become so skilled that it became difficult for him to locate any worthy prey. His love for the hunt itself stemmed from his hatred of politics. While the other lords became obsessed with ruling over Gelfling and maintaining status through kingship, skekMal required a more savage approach to life. His lust for power was the beating of an enemy's heart, the thrill of conquering, vanquishing, and killing, not bathing in flowers and squabbling over petty issues. His life required blood to survive. With each of his kills, he collected prizes to keep as trophies, believing that his enemy's spirit resided in whatever he took. He wore some on his outfit as death charms and proof of his dominance. The mask he wore on his face no doubt came from some legendary beast, and he even still had full use of all 4 of his arms, which he often armed with blades. He was even willing to take Rianne's tongue and heart just for spreading lies. Aside from being a fierce warrior, skekMal also had arguably the most interesting history of all. In the book series, the hunter is a creature of a legend among the Sprighten people, who used it to scare their children into behaving. In fact, Kylan's parents were both killed by the hunter when he was still very young, causing him to be raised by Madremera for the rest of his life, and it remained forever his darkest memory, and was perhaps the very reason he became a songteller. Even more interesting is skekMal's history with a Gelfling folk hero known as Jara Jen. Jara Jen was a fearless, intelligent warrior who is said to have been born of lightning and known to have battled a Gelfling tyrant known as Kregel, who kept his people as slaves. But even more intriguing was Jara Jen's encounter with the hunter himself before anyone knew he was the hunter. After giving chase through the woods, the hunter had trapped Jen against the edge of a cliff with a big bag full of treasures from the other Skeksis. Because Jen couldn't see what was below him, he dumped the bag over the side, and after hearing them break on the water below, he leapt into the river and successfully evaded skekMal. During the Age of Division came his most important task in quite some time, when he was called back to the castle by the Chamberlain to hunt an escaped Gelfling known as Rianne. skekMal was so proficient in his skills that he needed only a rag torn from Rianne's clothes to locate his enemy, and he did so successfully at the Circle of the Suns. However, his counterpart and skilled warrior himself, Urva the Archer, had come to meet him and was victorious in saving his friends, even though skekMal was able to escape, taking Brea captive. Upon arriving at the Crystal Castle once again, he was able to deliver Brea successfully, but immediately collapsed and entered a catatonic state, suffering from his many inflicted wounds. Soon after, Skektek determined that his injuries were far too great to survive, but Skekso, refusing to believe that he and the others were not immortal, ordered every last drop of essence to be given to their beloved hunter. But sadly, there was nothing they could do. As a testament to his sheer will and immeasurable strength, skekMal suddenly returned to life soon after his announcement of death, only to fall immediately back into the hunt he so desired. When he located Rian and the other enemy Gelfling at Stone in the Wood, he recaptured Rian, holding him to the sky and declaring his prize. But, against his will, there was still one final act that could stop the hunt forever: the sacrifice of Archer. Urva the Archer was skekMal's counterpart. An archer was another mystic much like Urgo, who preferred to spend his life away from the other mystics. He was filled with riddles, aiding others by clues he would give them to help them in their journeys, and he valued his time in the forest, learning to hunt with a bow and training himself in martial arts. The light comes from Urvar's harmony with nature, wanting to help the beings of Thra, while the dark comes from skekMal's bloodthirst of nature, wanting to kill all the beings of Thra. The brave and noble archer completed his last act of ultimate kindness, when upon awakening from a dream, he saved the Gelfling resistance and ended skekMal's hunt by sacrificing himself for the greater good of the world. Upon his death, skekMal also perished, and took from the Skeksis one of their most valued assets, causing them to retreat to the Crystal Castle. But Archer claimed much more than a valuable Skeksis that day. He ended the life of one of the most unique beings in all of Thra. The hunter was a Skeksis who, much like Skeksa, did not meld with the castle. He was different, he followed his own path, and he died defending it. And I'm quite sure, wherever he may be now, he's still on the hunt. Well, my friends, that's gonna do it for my video on the fearsome monster known as skekMal the Hunter. Now it's time for you guys to leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. Why is skekMal your favorite Skeksis? As always, until next we meet, take care, and I'll see you guys back here for the next video very soon.